Welcome to a brand new episode of the Jampack Report today for April the 29th of 2020. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams, and this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest gaming news you need to know from around the industry. You can find the show on YouTube and podcast services around the world, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. But today we got a big reveal with more information coming tomorrow. Assassin's Creed Valhalla has been announced with some very impressive looking art, and we'll break all of that down in just a few moments. On top of that, we are talking about Xbox Game Pass surpassing a very large number of subscribers, and additionally, we will discuss Microsoft's overall gaming revenue for Q3 2020. On top of that, Fortnite has a brand new mode that has been leaked a bit early. We now know how much space The Last of Us 2 will take up, and a brand new Call of Duty update is changing the way that you can report cheaters, and that is our lineup for today's show. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this juicy morsel. Assassin's Creed Valhalla has been revealed with its name and its location. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the full name of Ubisoft's Viking set entry in the series. A full world premiere for the game will be revealed tomorrow, the 30th of April, at 4 p.m. UK time. Today's Assassin's Creed art livestream has revealed Valhalla as a Viking adventure, surprise surprise, with an interesting pair of locations. The art shows a pair of scenes, Viking longboats against what looks like a Norwegian ford, and Viking raiders attacking what looks to be a British medieval castle. The game's main character, meanwhile, is shown in fur-lined armor with a Thor-like beard. A black raven, the animal associated with Viking god Odin, flies behind. The unnamed character wields an axe with the assassin's emblem on its blade, and the emblem itself is made up of two axes. It's very exciting stuff. Ha ha, good joke, Eurogamer. And of course, they will be back tomorrow with the full reveal, and so will I. But this is the art, and I wanted to really take a moment to let this shine. It looks really good, and I think it was a really cool marketing gimmick. And I say gimmick in a kind, lighthearted kind of way. To be able to watch the artist actually create this, I think that's something that is incredibly unique, and you don't see that happen very often. Of course, Ubisoft has a lot of experience in dealing with the community artist and in encouraging the art to be designed by those that are passionate about the projects that they are indeed working on internally. And so that is clearly, evidently, one of these examples. But I'm excited to see where Valhalla takes the world of Assassin's Creed. I said it earlier on Twitter, and I'll repeat it here. I would love to see them throw the Assassin's Creed brand deeper into that magical kind of Norse mythology that we saw from God of War. I think that would be a fantastic marriage, because if you look at what was done within God of War, it took a step back from the Greek mythology, of course, and then it threw Kratos into the world of Norse mythology, and you got to see all of these legends that we had all read about whenever we were learning about mythology in the 8th and 9th grade. And I think that to be able to go back to these incredible worlds and to see these gods and to experience their personalities, that's something that I would love to see. On top of that, Viking culture in and of itself, even if you don't have any of that mystical kind of concept being baked in, is incredibly interesting. That's something that has been unexplored, and it's something that I think is definitely going to be well received by fans if the game is in fact well built. And it should be. It's been a couple of years since we saw a proper Assassin's Creed, and for good reason. It was getting very oversaturated. However, I will say a lot of people have been asking for a very long time to see some kind of feudal Japanese Assassin's Creed, and although that sounds like a good idea, I'm glad they didn't do it now, because this summer we have Ghost of Tsushima, which is going to be essentially what we've all been hoping for from Assassin's Creed, and I would hate for those to have overlapped. But it seems these are going to be very different games, and I would guess if I had to, this is going to be a cross-generational title, launching on both the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the next-gen PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. However, moving on to the next topic of the day, Xbox Game Pass has over 10 million users, and Xbox Live clocks 90 million. Microsoft demonstrates continued success with Xbox Live and Game Pass amid all-time record engagement for services and subscriptions. Microsoft has provided new data on its Xbox services and subscriptions, witnessing all-time record engagement amid the ongoing global pandemic. That comes with the steady growth of Xbox Live active users and paying Xbox Game Pass subscribers reported via its latest Q3 financials. While Microsoft's official overall quarterly gaming revenue stayed flat, declining 1% year over year, the company sees the continued success of its Xbox Live gaming network and Xbox Game Pass subscription service. Speaking on Microsoft's FY, of course, fiscal year 20 Q3 earnings call on April 29th, CEO Satya Nadella confirmed Xbox Live active users now near 90 million, serving as a gateway to its digital gaming portfolio and social hub during an era of social distancing. Redmond has avoided sharing Xbox Live active users counts in recent earnings reports, with hard numbers last shared back in fiscal year 2019 Q4 at 65 million. These latest numbers demonstrate a nearly 50% increase in Xbox Live population year over year. Xbox Game Pass, its Netflix-style subscription service for games on Xbox One and Windows 10, also sees record numbers, surpassing 10 million users. This is really good news for Xbox because I personally expected for them to see a decline that was much greater than 1% for their gaming market share. Of course, right now you see a lot of people beginning to hold off buying new consoles. You begin to see more people selling off their consoles, and potentially you begin to see a lot of shifts in general. But for just a 1% decline to be existent in its gaming space, that's pretty notable, and I think that is definitely something that is worth applauding. On top of that, to see so many people getting on board with Xbox Live is certainly good news for the service, and Xbox Game Pass has over 10 million users, which is pretty impressive, especially considering that you do have Xbox Game Pass Console and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So where that divide is, I would be interested to see. But nonetheless, very impressive numbers coming in from Microsoft, and I think that you begin to see the confidence return to the tech giant, because whenever they're not sharing numbers, you can kind of read the writing on the wall, and you can insinuate or you can estimate that these numbers might not necessarily be good in general. But with these beginning to be shared yet again, I think that we are beginning to see a resurgence in Microsoft in a few ways. But we'll have to see how this continues with Xbox Series X on the horizon. I have very high hopes for that console, but can it compete with the Goliath of PlayStation? We'll have to wait and see. Again, supposedly the console is going to be launching this fall if the lineup continues in the way that it currently is. In fact, it's slated officially for holiday 2020, but those delays could still be in the pipeline. In the meantime, you can keep playing Fortnite, and it looks like a brand new mode is inviting you to leave the weapons behind. And Epic has confirmed the existence of a new leaked play mode. If you use Fortnite as a way to socialize and relax with friends, Epic Games is working on what could be the perfect palate cleanser for a couple of Battle Royale rounds. Based on evidence found by Fortnite's data mining community, the studio plans to add a new non-competitive mode that will allow you to hang out with your friends without worrying about winning. Much of the credit for the discovery goes to Lucas Yoshi, one of Fortnite's more prolific data miners. Looking through the game's code, they found an image of a new map called Papaya, linked to an upcoming limited-time gameplay mode called Party Royale. Additional details suggest the mode won't involve any shooting and that you may be able to play mini-games with other players. In a statement to Polygon, Epic confirmed the existence of the new mode, saying Party Royale is a new experimental and evolving space. Leave your weapons and mats behind. Players who want a break from shooting strangers can already play Fortnite Creative, the game's sandbox mode, but it sounds like Party Royale mode will provide more direction to players who want to catch up with their friends without the usual stress of a Battle Royale match. Very cool to see this being added, especially for younger kids. And I want to say that with the utmost respect for the adults out there that continue playing Fortnite. It's a fun battle royale, and it's kind of the go-to game for a lot of people when they get off of a long day of work or whenever they just want to veg out and relax. It's free. It's there. You probably already have it downloaded. So a lot of people just go with that because it's easy. But put yourself in the shoes of a 12-year-old or a 10 to 12-year-old even that has been unable to hang out with their friends since the beginning of the quarantine, that is unable to go to any social events, that is maybe missing prom if you're in high school. That's not a very good comparison. Prom and Fortnite, two very different things with very different endings for a lot of various people. But if you consider the lack of social interaction that we have in the current status of the world, to be able to have a place where you can bring a friend group together. If you are, say, again, between the ages of 10 and 12 and you want to get the lunch table back online, you can all hang out and do fun stuff and hang out and party chat. it's a good way to stay connected. And although it might not be the competitive, revolution that many people expected from Fortnite, it certainly is something that I think is a good addition to the game, especially considering how many younger kids actually do jump on board and play Epic's title. But if you want to, of course, dive in, I would say it's probably going to launch within the next couple of weeks if I did have to guess. Also launching technically in the next couple of weeks is The Last of Us 2, of course, now launching on the 19th of June, 2020, but it will gobble up at least 100 gigabytes of PS4 hard drive space. It will ship on 2 Blu-ray discs, but this is not the most surprising tidbit in the universe. However, a PlayStation pre-order page has revealed that the upcoming exclusive will gobble up at least 100 gigabytes of hard drive space. That does not make it quite as big as Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but it's halfway there. In other Naughty Dog news, Neil Druckmann has revealed he's heartbroken by recent leaks. Of course, we talked about that earlier this week, and there will be no leaking on this channel. But 1 player, 2 discs, 100 gigabytes minimum. I report this just to let you guys know. I'm not reporting this out of spite for the 100 gigabyte size. I'm not reporting it because I'm shocked at this state of the game to see these very high resolution textures, to see support for 4K HDR. It is no surprise to see that 100 gigabytes of space is going to get taken up. In fact, I think that honestly is smaller than I expected it to be, if I'm being completely transparent. So, clear off some hard drive space, figure out what you need to delete, and of course, you can always, if you have downloaded games, re-download them at a later date if you did want to return back to them. Or you can always buy an external hard drive if you are that concerned about keeping everything in the system. However, speaking of Call of Duty, to round out today's show, a brand new update will let you report Warzone and Modern Warfare cheaters with the Killcam. You will soon have another way to report cheaters in Modern Warfare and Warzone. Developer Infinity Ward confirmed that an upcoming Modern Warfare and Warzone update across all 3 platforms will give players yet another tool to report cheaters. Now, when you get killed unfairly in a Modern Warfare or Warzone match, you can use your Killcam to report that player. In a similar way, if you just joined a match or are fine-tuning your loadout, you can use the spectate function to report players who may be racking up seemingly impossible kills. This new anti-cheat update will arrive in both Call of Duty games on PC, PS4, and Xbox One sometime this week. The anti-cheat update is not the only way Infinity Ward has been dealing with problem players. The studio has opted to put cheaters in matches together as a way to combat the rampant issue, and this is in addition to the additional dedicated security updates Infinity Ward promised to prevent cheaters. Not including Modern Warfare, Infinity Ward has already banned more than 70,000 cheaters from Warzone. In other Call of Duty news, a bunch of changes are coming to both games sometime this week, and this includes a new gunsmith update, double XP and playlist adjustments, and additional Warzone contract type, and more. Infinity Ward has so far only previewed the patch notes for update, which will be split into 2 this time around. And this is a very good step in the right direction. Since PUBG, this is something that should have been baked into every online multiplayer shooter because cheating is so rampant, especially on PC, as it has been with Warzone, according to reports over the past few weeks. It really should be that easy to report somebody that might be doing something malicious within their game. And so, again, a good step in the right direction. And Modern Warfare still, even with the cheaters being combated, a phenomenal game that is absolutely worth checking out. However, that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed this one, drop me a like down below and let me know what you think about everything we talked about on today's show. What do you think about the art for Assassin's Creed Valhalla on top of that? How do you feel about Xbox and the Xbox brand going into later 2020 with the Xbox Series X's impending launch? I would love to see your thoughts in the comment section or on Twitter at PrettyChillGuy. Feel free to hit me up and let me know. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.